stick with me here. This is going to be convoluted, but hopefully it makes sense when it's all over with.
I asked, what movie would you show, or how would you introduce Steve Martin to somebody who didn't know who he was?
So if you're on TikTok, first and foremost, go back and follow him and watch that video. The premise of the video is you have to introduce Steve Martin's work to somebody who's never seen his work before, and you're trying to encompass as much of Steve Martin's career and style as you possibly can. And people are picking different movies, and some people are picking, like best of SNL skit tapes and whatnot and what have you. And I don't know that there's one movie that you can show to somebody and go, this is who Steve Martin is. You can show somebody and go, this is part of what Steve Martin does. And this is part of what Steve Martin does, and this is what Peter... But I don't think that there's one movie that encompasses it all. So I can't think of one that would say, here's Steve Martin. So I thought of an afternoon of Steve. This is how I think you should, in order, introduce Steve Martin's work to somebody who's never seen it. We're going to do an afternoon marathon of Steve Martin movies, and we're going to go in this order. First, we're going to show you Father of the Bride. Something relatively normal, quote unquote, that shows you his comedic ability. Then I would show them All of Me. I don't know if anybody out there is familiar with, that's a little bit more of an off the beaten path movie, but absolutely fabulous. Then I would show them Three Amigos. Okay, we're getting into some different type of stuff here with this. Then I would show them My Blue Heaven to show them a little bit more of a weird range that Steve Martin has. And to end it all, I would show The Jerk. After you show them Father of the Bride, All of Me, Three Amigos, and My Blue Heaven, you say to them, now you have to watch this one. Because this one right here, this one is really where Steve Martin was. I thought, up here, from a comedic genius standpoint. So that's my afternoon of introducing somebody who's never met or who has never seen Steve Martin's work to Steve Martin. We start with Father of the Bride. We move into All of Me. Now listen, All of Me I love. I think that you could probably interchange All of Me and The Man with Two Brains in that spot. I think either one of those work in that spot. Then you got to show them the Three Amigos, right? My Blue Heaven is going to show them a completely different side of Steve Martin that none of these other movies are going to show them. And then The Jerk is just going to make them go, okay, now that was just freaking awesome. And now I need to see way more of what this man does. But you guys, you tell me. I'm going to tag the content creator on TikTok. I don't know if he's on YouTube. I'll see if I can find his account over on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, so forth and so on. But for those of you watching the video, what's your answer?